Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to Quantum Soul Alchemy 30 Days of Feeling into Abundance. Today, we are going to focus on our lesson number 9, where we are going to do reflective journaling and we're going to tune into subconscious access. So, the subconscious realm, in terms of reflecting and journaling on our emotions that tend to drive our actions subconsciously. So for today's lesson, if you have not already done day one lesson, so day one, we focused on our emotional center and understanding which part of our being drives our emotions. So some of us have our emotional center in our root chakra, where we look at our foundation, security, feeling safe, or even fear. Those things tend to drive our actions. So that would be your area of emotional center. For those of us who have our emotional center in our head or our crown chakra, then we tend to think a lot. We think ourselves into things and we can talk ourselves out of things. So for you, that would be your emotional center, where that would be the action driver for you. And of course, we have those that have emotional center in your heart, where you're feeling your emotions, your connections with people, they tend to drive your actions and your feelings throughout the day. So if you have not completed that assignment, then I would suggest go ahead and finish that assignment and then come back to day nine's assignment to complete it. Now, if you want to follow along with us, then you can register on our website. Our course is free. Just access whliam.com/courses. That is COURSES. And you can follow along with all of our videos from day one through day nine, as well as going forward through day 30. Now, we also have a Quantum Soul Alchemy journal. So you can get this on our website as well as on Amazon.com. So we have it in hardcover and paperback. And you have a choice of two covers. So you can do the light cover or the dark cover. So whichever is your preference. Again, the journal is available on Amazon.com. Okay. So, tapping into today, we will start with our intro to journaling. So, most of us, we are familiar with journaling. We are familiar with writing our thoughts down on paper, but rarely do we actually access or focus on accessing the subconscious mind, because this is literally a reservoir of all of our feelings, all of our emotions, our memories, the ones that we like to bury and pretend that they don't exist, actions of the past, and we're like, no, we never done that. But that could be the key to you being able to control your manifestation abilities, is to open up that box that you have locked away. And reflective journaling can help us dive into that in a safe and healthy way so that we can effectively move forward. Okay, so let us go ahead and understand the role of our subconscious in emotional control. So our emotions are, of course, felt, pretty spontaneously. So when something happens, external stimuli comes into play, we respond or we react. All of that, or most of it really, is subconscious. So when we're talking about someone may say a triggering word, we don't really think about the actual word or think about their meaning behind it. We react based off of what we already know, what we've already felt, what we've already experienced. So someone could call you out of your name and you would immediately feel a certain way about that. Regardless of what their intention was, your body is responding automatically. That is a subconscious response to the external stimuli. So it is very important to understand how can we control these subconscious emotions in controlling how we react and respond to other people. So this is why I want us to go through our reflective journaling exercise today so that we can gain control of that and be able to gain more control of our lives. So what we're going to do is work through uncovering hidden fears, hidden desires, motivations, hidden things that we know are the key to our transformation. But for some reason, we have been told, you know, children are to be seen and not heard. That can be a feeling that has buried your abilities. So working on reflective journaling helps us to open that up to, pretty much help us understand that that is a false narrative. So you'll stop carrying it around and you'll stop responding or reacting to, job opportunities with that I can't make it because I'm too small, or I'm not going to be heard, or I'm not going to be seen. So that's our subconscious, reacting or responding automatically because of what we've been taught or what we've been told, when we were younger, or, yesterday. So reflective journaling helps us to dive into that, open that up, and remove that false narrative and replace it with what we desire to exist in there. Okay. Alrighty. So let us move forward to our techniques to access the subconscious, which will lead right into the pathways to access the subconscious. So now we understand that our subconscious mind is this vast array. It is boundless. So we would like to think or pretend that our brain is limiting our mind, but those are two separate things. Mind. So when we're talking about accessing the subconscious mind, we are moving past this brain. We're moving past the physical structure, and we're accessing this, ginormous energy field that is the mind. So the ways to access or pathways to get into that mind, we have, many of the activities that we already do for this course, which would be one is hypnotherapy. So yes, hypnotherapy can help you to calm the mind and allows you to get into a safe space mentally so that you can unpack a lot of these feelings in a structured environment. Therapy, hypnotherapy is a well-known, well-practiced, well-studied method of accessing the subconscious mind. So another pathway is dream journaling. So you can keep a notebook by your bed, and as soon as you wake up, or if you're daydreaming, then you can go ahead and make notes of what you're seeing, the figures, the animals, the words. Sometimes our dreams, seem to not make sense. They just don't flow in the way that our conscious world will flow. So this is, evidence of being in a subconscious space, or, a different um, mental realm. And this can help give you insight onto what type of emotions and what type of events are driving your actions when you're awake or when you are conscious and thinking about it. So, dream journaling is excellent. And you can also use your journal here to write your dreams, because you have several pages of notes. You also have a page to do some drawings or doodles. So this will be a wonderful place to keep everything in one, central location or convenient location for you. So dream journaling. Let's see, creative expression. So we have an assignment for artistic expression, which I believe is day 15, or it might be day 14. But you can use that to access the subconscious mind while you're in the motion of the strokes. If you're doing, painting, or if you're drawing on a piece of paper, as you're in the moment, in the mode of just feeling, you're able to access the subconscious and put to paper or put to canvas what you're actually thinking, or feeling on that deep emotional level that you might not be able to access if you were consciously thinking about it. So another pathway would be intuitive listening. So paying attention to your gut. You can get sudden insights or guidance from your inner being. So this is intuitive listening, and crystals and gemstones can help you with this. So gemstones such as dark amethyst, or what we call super seven, and those types of stones you can hold on your third eye for your intuition, which is center of the brow. And you can also use quartz crystal because quartz crystal works with all of our chakra centers as well as helping the mind to focus. So using quartz would be wonderful in terms of intuitive listening and learning how to build your intuition and your um, inner guidance, so to speak. Other options or other pathways would be unexpected insights. So you may experience sudden clarity to a problem that your conscious mind couldn't solve. So let's say you're at work, of course, and you're tapping away on the keyboard, and all of a sudden, yesterday's issue came up in your mind, and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Those are accesses to your subconscious mind. So yes, that's what I mean when I say people are accessing their subconscious mind all the time, but they aren't really aware of it. And sudden insights is a pathway to the subconscious mind. So make sure you jot that down whenever you get those types of thoughts or those types of feelings, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, it could have gone this way. But instead, I had to experience it using, going this route. Write that down because you want to understand what were the emotions surrounding this event. And it may have been something you did unintentionally that led you to that insight. This way, you can go back and start doing that intentionally to always lead you to insight. Another pathway would be just a shift in your perception, so to speak. And that could be piggyback off of your unexpected insights. So it's like, oh, well, this could be done this way. I never thought of that. So now I'm thinking of that all the time. So my perception has shifted more so on a permanent basis because I understand that this route is working for me to gain more insight. We also have emotional release, a good cry. That's an emotional release. If you can find a space where you may need to just yell or get it out, that's another pathway to your deep emotion, your subconscious, is to just have that emotional release. Um, let's see. Also, vivid dreams and symbols. So, going back to dream journaling, when you get those symbols or those, animal spirits or, certain words or terms that you never really use in your waking life, that is an access to the subconscious in your dream world or your dream state. So your daydreams are able to provide you with deep insight to some situations that you're facing. So these can help you to access alternate realities that present options you would believe otherwise were impossible. So sometimes when we daydream, we can see ourselves picking up buildings or flying or, winning arguments or besting this particular project or finishing it or completing it ahead of time. Our daydreams are able to help us see what we would like to believe could happen. And you will say it, I could do. So it's just understanding, gaining different insights. And these daydreams can help us to do that. So, what we want to move forward to is our guided reflective journaling. So, in this moment, we can just try one of the methods that we just mentioned before. So, if you are able to gain access to our previous lessons, then we do have a hypnotherapy session. So, you can listen to that and start journaling reflectively during the hypnotherapy session. But if you do not have access to that just yet, then we can go ahead and do a quick breather right now, and I'll give you some prompts or some questions to start with. That way, you can, move forward in an effective way to reflective journaling. Okay, so go ahead for me and close your eyes. You're going to take a deep belly breath. So, with our belly breaths, we want our abdomen to expand. And exhale. Go ahead again and take a deep breath. And exhale. I want you to envision releasing any barriers to your mind. The walls are falling away. Inhale deep and exhale slowly. The tension is leaving your body, flowing from your crown down, out through your feet. You are grounded and you're ready to begin. Okay, so let us start with the question I am feeling right now. I am feeling right now. Or you can say, right now, I am feeling. Your next question, I would like it to be, or your next prompt would be, um, what would I like to feel? What would I like to feel at this moment? So I am feeling, or right now I am feeling, but going into what would I like to feel in this moment? Now, I don't want you to worry about being cohesive or perfecting grammar. I just want you to write anything that comes to mind, which is why it is helpful to switch and flip your subject in your questions, your subject, your objects, your topics. Because again, the subconscious mind doesn't necessarily flow like our conscious world does. The subconscious mind can be, a doorway on the ceiling or, you know, stairs leading to nowhere, so to speak, to where you just have to take a leap of faith once you reach the top. So that's where I want you to pull your emotions from. What is that feeling like? So that'll be your third prompt. And no, it doesn't have to make sense. What does that feeling feel like? I'm trying to get you to dive into parts of your mind in ways that you usually do not think consciously. So once we are allowing ourselves to just flow with whatever is coming to mind, then we are accessing our subconscious mind. Even though we're conscious, this is reflective journaling. Just allow the emotions to flow, allow the thoughts to flow. And our final prompt for today, what do I want to feel next? What do I want to feel going forward? And give yourself the freedom to feel the the not so good feels, right? So let's say you are doing your reflective journaling after a bad breakup. And you may say, well, I just want to sit in this feeling of blah. That's what I want to feel next. I don't even want to smile right now because I'm just not in the mood for any happy feelings or any happy songs. Go ahead and write that down. Reflect on that. Give yourself permission to feel those feels that just don't feel good, because you are allowed to exist as a human. And to be human is to feel negative at times, or to feel these negative feelings. But reflective journaling helps us to understand we don't have to stay there. And it gives us the control to move ourselves out of it when we don't need to stay in it. Now, sometimes when we get into those negative feels, we sit in it even when we don't want to. After we've done the breakup and we say we're done crying, but you still cry because you have not processed what's going on in the subconscious mind. So you would need to open that up so that you can understand, okay, now I have a better control of it because I understand where that negative feeling is coming from. Because yes, it was a recent breakup, but you've already processed that. You've already cried that out. So why are you still feeling negative? There's something else in there that is blocking us. And it may have been the breakup that triggered it, but that negative feeling has been there for a very long time. And reflective journaling helps us to dive into that and break it down and be able to pull that out of there so we can control how we feel when we are faced with the next breakup, if there is a next breakup, or faced with the next negative event or experience. So, your last prompt is, what do I want to feel next? So I want you to take these 4 prompts, 4 questions, and reflect on them, meditate on them, and allow yourself again to write exactly what flows out of your mind, exactly as it flows out of your mind. Don't try to make sense of it, because that will come in time as you learn to control these emotions and understand your emotional center a bit better. Because you're only on day 9. Okay. So this will conclude our session for today. Now, again, if you have personal questions, or if you are not open to sharing in the group chat of our course, then you can email me directly. That's support@whliam.com. Again, that's support@whliam.com. So I thank you for joining us today for our day 9 lesson of reflective journaling.